I'm Sean Donahue, and this is North Shore Infrastructure.
Infrastructure is the lifeblood to an effective supply chain and is broken into two main categories, hard versus soft. Hard infrastructure is more technical and is best described as physical components, from roads and railways all the way to telecommunications. These physical components provide our society with the means to goods and services we use each day. The principle of soft infrastructure is functionality. It facilitates the production and distribution of goods and services, better described as a plan of action or a set of rules and guidelines to an overall goal. On this episode, we highlight soft infrastructure working alongside the Lynn Fire Department.
Welcome to North Shore Infrastructure. I'm your host, Sean Donahue. We're here at the Lynn Fire Department headquarters, located in Lynn, Massachusetts on Western Ave. And here with me is Chief James McDonald. Chief, thanks for having us down here. I understand that you wear a lot of hats here. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and what the Lynn Fire Department is for?
Well, as the chief of the department, I'm in charge of all the fire department requirements in the city, fire suppression, fire prevention, fire inspection, fire investigation. We also control the emergency medical services in the city. We handle car accidents, building problems with industrial accidents, and any illnesses we take care of through our EMS component.
So any emergency services that happen in Lynn, it's pretty safe to assume you'll be among the first on site.
Yeah, we're usually hand in hand with the police department, either just ahead of or just after the police.
Awesome news. I can tell you, as a citizen of Lynn, it makes me a little happier to hear that you guys are taking action, you're running your drills, and you're making sure that the citizens are indeed safe. So I know that you have to introduce me to Lieutenant Ryan Brown.
That's correct.
He's got some work for me.
Yeah, I think you'll be doing some housework.
All right.
So if you want to follow me, I'll show you where you're going.
All right, here we go.
Firefighting dates back to the year 100 BC in Rome. The Lynn Fire Department got its start back in the late 1700s, where firefighters were volunteers equipped with a leather bucket filled with water.
Hi, Lieutenant. Sean, nice to meet you.
Sean, Lieutenant Brown.
How's it going?
Good.
Tell us what we're doing.
All right, it's our first day of our tour. All the guys come out, we move the trucks out, go around the truck, make sure all the equipment's where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Just basically go compartment by compartment, both trucks. Then we'll set it up, throw the ladder up in the air, make sure everything's working how it should.
Cool, let's get started.
All right,
Where do you need me?
come on over. So pretty much, start just by opening all the cabinets, expose all the tools.
This one's broken. Oh, no, it's not.
So we're just making sure that we have everything. You know, we have our different fans to get smoke out of the buildings, different hand tools, and then we just keep moving right down the line. This is the engine. This is engine 3. Basically, it runs the water in for a firefighter. It pumps water, carries water. This truck also has the jaws of life and other various hand tools. These are our airbags. We have some sort of heavy load, whether it's a car or some sort of structure that's fallen on somebody. This is a way that we can safely lift off of somebody, but also be very controlled at the same time.
Okay.
So basically, we have these airbags. Pretty simple setup.
Okay.
You have your controls right here. And if you want to take one of these bottles out, you just pop the strap. What we're going to do is we're going to connect the hose. If you want to take this, this guy will feed right onto them.
Right here?
Yep, and then you just twist them right on.
Twist it on.
There you go.
The Lynn Fire Department is in the business of saving lives, and they take the well-being of local residents very serious. When answering calls, it's imperative that the company on tour knows their equipment and staff will be ready to go at a moment's notice. They do this through demonstrating drill after drill while not in service. When you're in this business, preparation and planning is a huge key to success.
So this basically charges our system. So right now this airbag's ready to go.
Okay.
So if we had, say there was a victim underneath the truck, vehicle, car accident, whatever it is, we can use this to slowly raise the car off the person.
Oh, interesting.
So just by feathering this control, you can see it slowly raising. And it takes just seconds to set up, but it's something that really it can save a life. It can work. It works really fast. It can lift a lot of weight, even though it's pretty small, pretty light.
Do you have any idea as to how much weight it can lift?
Each one's different, but you're talking tons, literally.
Yeah. So we're here with Dave and Mike. These guys are in charge of this truck and making sure that everything is in operating order. Right now, we're focusing on the jaws of life. That's what we're working with. Tell me what this is.
Commonly known as the jaws of life, the Hearst tools. It's a hydraulic, forcible entry tool we use when we cut up cars. Usually seen in auto extrication, bad car accidents, things like that.
Okay.
So on our first day, we take out the motor, make sure it's running, attach the tools, make sure that they're working up to par, and just give everything a good once over. So we're about to do that now.
First, feel how heavy these are. It's a two-man job, as I told you earlier. Mike and Steve will be the one operating, so.
Okay, yeah, there's some heft to those.
Yeah, it's obviously an emergency. We don't have to check the gas and the oil, but that's what we do on our first day, just to make sure. Give it a pull.
Pull it up. Easy as pie. So we have to make sure these are all in working condition. Okay.
I'm going to hand one side to Mike and he'll hand one to me.
Okay.
If he needs that side, I need that. So you want to, all you have to do is line that up.
Yep.
Pull it back.
Pull back, put it in.
Yep. Cool. We try to let it hit the ground. If there's any dirt or any rock dirt gets in, it can really damage it.
All right. So I won't do that again.
That's all right.
All right. There we go.
Give it a little pull, make sure.
Cool.
These are called the spreaders in this UI. So right now they're in the closed position. We would stick this end into some sort of purchase point in the car, usually in between like a door and the frame.
Yep.
And then one of us, we'll have Dave do it, we'll operate.
They just spread open like that. But would you consider these in working condition? Okay. Cool.
The reason we do it on our first day every day, every week,
That way you're
get
a pro.
familiar with the equipment. Guys know that when you work with each other, if me and Dave pick this tool up, we can just look at each other and know that we're ready to go do something.
Awesome. Drill,
We all
drill,
know-
drill.
That's it. It's called
Okay.
familiarization. We don't use these tools all the time, but when you need to use them, it's usually because it's a pretty bad situation. So this is called the ram. You can hold this with 2 hands.
Sure.
See, that's more of a one-man tool.
Yeah. More
And
my
that's
level.
Exactly what you would expect a ram to do.
Ram.
Hydraulic ram inside of that. As you turn it, it just projects out. And this is something that we use to create a bigger opening.
Cool. So this is working.
Works great.
Awesome. Good to hear.
And these were already checked.
All right.
And
So
these
these
are
are
called
good.
the cutters,
All right.
and they're just a really big hydraulic pair of scissors.
It's how to make a convertible quite easily, right?
That's exactly what we use it for.
It's actually not a joke. These things are, all these tools are used to save lives. So it's important that these guys are checking them, making sure that they're in working order. So when the bell rings, they're ready to go.
Right now, we're going to set the ladder up. The driver of the truck is responsible for setting the truck up and setting the ladder up. So what he's doing is he's going to throw the outriggers out, which levels the truck. Once the truck's level, he can go to the top, they call it the turntable, and then from there he can set the ladder up, put it right up in the air.
Okay, so that's your level. That's right
Yep.
there. Okay. So in order for this thing not to tip over, we have to make sure that it's level. So that means
So once
it's
the
level.
lights are green, it's all set. Then we can go up top and operate the rest of the truck. It's a 100-foot ladder, which means from the ground straight up when the ladder is completely vertical, it's 100 feet. So now he's going to start rotating the ladder, so just watch yourself.
Alrighty. Turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in on the ladder at the place. Lenny, how long have you been a firefighter?
9 years.
9 years. Do you like it? Do you love it? Good to hear. There it goes. Holy smokes. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to be a firefighter. Not for me.
Steeper the angle, the harder it is to climb. 60 right there. The higher it goes, yeah.
Wow. That's a ladder.
So that's the 100 feet, straight up.
Holy smokes. I'd go into a burning building before I'd climb that ladder.
That's good. So that's more of a realistic scenario where you're going to throw it to the roof of a building.
Okay. So this
You're not always going to be using the height of the ladder.
right.
It's more
right.
the reach that you
Okay.
need that 100 feet for.
What comes next?
All right, we'll drop this down, close the truck up, put the jacks in, give the truck a quick wash. The engine already washed theirs.
So we've tested the equipment, put the ladder up. Now we're gonna get a quick wash in. So the truck is pretty. Okay, here we go. We're washing the fire truck here. This is it. This is the whole. This is the right technique. Is this something you do every day, or this is a once a week type deal?
No, typically on the first day of the group, this is group 4's first day.
Yeah. Okay.
So they'll wash it today, and then kind of when necessary.
I think I got the easy job. Yeah, I definitely got the easy job. I'm not complaining though. I don't think my tiny arms would reach up that high. Is this open? We're down here at the Broadway House, and with me is Chief Stephen Archer. Chief, you're in charge of training. You're the training officer here.
That's right.
So all of safety, regulation, that's up to you. Now, I understand that these guys have to take classes accordingly too.
Yeah, we do quite a bit of retraining, on-duty retraining. We're doing classroom sessions on a regular basis, standards and everything that basically we need to be retrained and recertified on. We do a lot of that training here in classrooms.
Excellent.
It can be anywhere from 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour classes, just depending on what the training is.
And that's good. I mean, I'm sure you have a wide array of variety as to what you train to. I mean, saving lives has to be top priority, but also dealing with certain people with certain psychiatric disorders, or even knowing what to do in a circumstance with maybe somebody who has autism.
Absolutely.
You have to know how to help those people. Tell us a little bit about our next segment.
Well, once we leave here, once we're done the classroom session here today, we're going to go down to CAPS Auto Wrecking here in Lynn. They provide us with basically junk vehicles for us to practice auto extrications on.
All right, Chief, so we're on our way to CAPS right now. It's great that they allow you to use vehicles to train. I mean, because training is everything. Without practice, you can't really get good at anything. So what can I expect from this drill?
So when we get there, you'll see CAPS Auto Wrecking will have a vehicle set up for us. They'll do it however we want. Sometimes they will simulate a particular type of vehicle wreck. They'll turn a car over on its side. They'll, they have one vehicle on top of another, certain things that we'll see in really bad motor vehicle accidents. Or it can be a very simple one. In this case, it's going to be a very simple one where we simulate maybe doors are smashed in and the occupants might be unconscious or unable to self-extricate, and we'll go take the Jaws of Life tool, which most people are familiar with now. We'll use that to pop some doors. If need be, we take the top right off.
We're down here at CAPS Auto Body. Alongside working with me will be Chief Archer. And basically what we're doing is simulating a car accident where we need to excavate a patient out of there using the Jaws of Life. So these guys are gonna have me suit up and participate in this to the best of my ability. I'm really not sure what to expect. If you put on pants, you know how to do this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that house is going to be burned down by the time you get your stuff on here. So,
Whoops.
Okay, drop your hands down through here.
Drop your hands down.
So our suspenders come up and over. There you go. That's good enough.
Do I look cool? Yeah, I'm too fat to fit in fireman pants. That happened. Season 2. That's what happens when everybody feeds you.
Again, it's all about safety. Guys at the academy, and they're learning how to do this gear. We're not going to do this for you right now, but they would get completely buttoned up with this. They would actually come around this, basically protecting exposed skin and keeping, the heat.
Keep it off your neck and all that
Exactly.
stuff.
So they would go through all of that at the academy. They learned that, and they actually do a little bit of a buddy system where one guy is checking on the other guys. Yeah, he's watching, making sure this guy is buttoned up and ready to go.
Cool.
So, but you're in pretty good shape the way you are now.
Alrighty.
Grab your helmet. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to simulate opening this door. We've got an occupant trapped in the rear of the vehicle. They're going to connect the tools. They're going to start the jaws up, which is going to make a little bit of noise. And they're going to pop one of those doors so that we can get the person out of there and to a trauma center. Sometimes the vehicle can be in an unstable situation where it's sort of, it's in a position where it could roll as we start, especially if we have to start shaking the vehicle or anything like that. So one of the first things we do is chalk the wheels, and occasionally you'll see guys will actually pop the tires out. They'll take a tool and pop the tire, get the air out of them so the thing can't move.
Okay.
Situation like this, we're just going to chalk those wheels. Normally we'll have one individual who's responsible for safety. Immediately on scene, he's going to walk around the scene. He's going to make sure that there's nothing else here that can harm us, that we haven't seen, we haven't missed. In addition, sometimes depending on how bad the vehicle accident is, we've actually got to look around. Sometimes occupants will be thrown out of these vehicles. We'll get so focused, we can get so focused on what we're doing here. We've had instances, or we've heard of instances where someone is thrown from the vehicle, didn't even see the individual, another victim. So we've got to, that's again, part of the 360 walk around. The safety officer has come. He's already done his 360 around the whole scene. He's looking around the scene. He's making sure there's nothing here that can harm the rescuers. There's no danger here. We'd still put an EMS person inside the vehicle talking with the patient if the patient is conscious, letting them know what's going on, holding C-spine on the neck to prevent any further injury, keeping the patient calm. Sometimes we have to put a blanket in front of their face. As you're going to see, we need to pop these windows out. We've got to keep glass and stuff away from the patient. So safety, safety, safety. Always about safety.
All you're going to do, hold it on the side like this.
Yep.
Okay. That's where the center punch, that's the spring.
Just push it in.
And all you're going to do is push it in.
Okay.
That's it. Just keep the force on it.
Cool.
Nicely done, Sean. Nicely done. Okay, so window being broken out now, we're going to grab a purchase from the doors here somewhere, and we're going to get the jaws tool here to start opening that door.
If you look at the front from the back, this is the A, B, C.
All right. A, B, C posts.
There are pins on the car which attach to the door latch. They're actually really strong reinforced steel. So the hinges, which are located here and here, and then up front on the A post, it's easy for us to cut those. So if you want to open up this door, an alternative to going from here is actually to open it up this way and ripping the door off.
So basically just hammer and a nail.
All right.
Good? Yep.
And what you want to do is just try and get it in there.
Get it in there?
Yep.
Cool.
And then you want to spread them. Okay. So,
Cool.
So now we can close them.
Close them, get it back
Get
in
it
there.
in there a little bit better. Okay. So yeah. Now we got a pretty good spot.
Oh yeah.
Open this up.
Yeah, opening a door.
Yep.
These hydraulic Hurst spreaders and cutters weigh 50 pounds each. Firefighters work in teams in order to be the most effective.
Even with a big, huge tool.
Yep.
It's all about the motion in the ocean. All right.
So you guys did a pretty good number on this. And the pin that I was talking about is right here.
Okay.
You see how that's still holding?
Yep.
This door is actually still closed.
Yeah.
They ripped this entire thing off. So these right here, these hinges, which are also the ones on the front, those will cut a lot easier than cutting this. Sean, just a safety thing, the way that these cutters are designed is they move, like it moves to like a weak point, so they're gonna want to ride up or ride down. Don't fight it. So as it starts to cut, if it's rolling up, you just kind of go with it.
There you go.
So we're closing now.
Yep. See how we're saying?
Yep, it's going up.
Yep. That's it.
It's like arts and crafts. Not really. Nothing like arts and crafts.
Get those doors popped, get the patient out of there. We're still working under what we refer to as the golden hour rule sometimes, which is for the time of the accident. We want that patient out of this vehicle, packaged, in a trauma center within an hour. Another thing we're going to simulate now is taking the top right off of this car. Sometimes the vehicle could be impacted by both sides.
The whole time during this process, this patient is being covered. Make sure that they're safe from glass, any type of debris.
This might break. I hope it doesn't.
All right. This is like a joke for the new guy, right?
And you can realize how important it is to be communicating with a conscious patient. Imagine the patient inside there, and you don't let this patient know, hey, you're going to hear some noise, you're going to feel some jarring, there's going to be some broken glass. You can imagine how alarming that would be to the patient.
It'd be scarier than the accident itself.
The same thing. It might move on. Yeah. Try and go.
Let it go.
Yeah. We just rotate.
So we're gonna cut B post now. the integrity of the roof has been compromised.
Okay, so Sean, you have now helped to lift the top right off this vehicle. Again, a whole bunch of reasons why in certain circumstances it just makes sense to take the top right off the vehicle to be able to get at the patient. Now in this case, like I said, we had a patient in the back here. We put either the short board or the long board in this patient. The patient's got a cervical collar on protecting the spine. Now we're gonna slide the patient up, strap the patient onto the board. They're coming right out this way in a nice, safe manner, and we can get them into an ambulance and on their way to the trauma center.
Awesome work.
Yep.
I mean, I can tell you right now, like, there's a whole boatload of variables. I mean, being able to see through this thing, there's glass crashing, there's metal breaking, there's wires. I mean, as a firefighter, you guys must just have this sense where you know where you are, what you're doing at all times, and it's because of drills like this.
Well, you have to do the drills, and you have to constantly be aware of the surroundings. One of the most dangerous things that we can have in an incident scene is when you get that sort of tunnel vision, where you get so focused on what you're doing that you're not paying attention to your surroundings.
To the rest of the surroundings.
Right.
And that's definitely one of the things I can notice about these guys is they knew exactly where they were, what they were doing, what their job was.
Yep. Always have to be aware of that. It's the things we drill on constantly.
As a citizen, I mean, I'm stoked to see that
Yeah.
you guys go through drills like this, so in the event that something horrible does happen, you're ready to go. You guys have another drill planned for us too.
That's called lunch. Lunch is very, very important to us, Sean.
So now I understand that you guys have a couple chefs in the house.
We've got most of the firehouses are going to have at least a couple of guys who they know their way around a kitchen.
Grub time.
And you're going to good lunch. Let's go have a good lunch.
Let's do it. Hell yeah.
After a long day's work, the firefighters of Group 4 invited us back to the big house for some lunch. The fire department is one of many institutions which help keep a community functioning. Some other examples of institutions like this would be the police department or the DPW. The purpose they serve ranges from safety to traffic flow, and it's these basic functions which best represent soft infrastructure. After lunch, we head down to the Point of Pines Yacht Club for an in-depth look at some of the local fire departments working together for a single cause.
Welcome back. We're down at the Point of Pines Yacht Club, and here with me is John from Moran. Moran is a company that works in tandem with Mass DEP in the event where there is a natural disaster and cleanup needs to be done. John, can you tell us a little bit of what we can expect to see out of today's drill?
Yep. Sean, today we'll be, the local fire departments will be deploying 600 feet of boom right back here at the yacht club to, in case there was an emergency out at sea, a spill occurred, so they could collect the oil right here on the beach. So between the local fire departments, we'll have 3 boats out there. There might be another boat for observation. They'll be deploying the 600 feet down the beach, setting some anchors, using all the equipment in the Mass DEP trailer.
I'm here with Rich Packard of the Mass DEP. Rich, can you tell us a little bit about why we run drills like this?
Main focus of a drill like this is to give local first responders, that's mostly fire departments and harbor masters, some experience in responding to oil spills. And mostly what we're doing is familiarizing them with equipment that's used to clean up an oil spill and equipment that's used to protect sensitive areas.
Okay. Now what's your role here?
I work for the State Environmental Agency, and so I am the program manager for the oil spill program. So my primary role here is to provide equipment and training to these first responders and to give Massachusetts more of a preparedness.
All right, so the scenario is we have a spill that's threatening, you know, the river, the Pines River, Saugus River, coming from somewhere offshore. So the plan is, this is a 600-foot diversionary tactic, okay? It's gonna go out like this, okay? The oil is coming from this direction. Right now we're on a flood tide, so that's the way the water's flowing, that's the way the oil will be flowing, okay? First thing to do is we're gonna bring out 3 200-foot legs of boom and set them up on the beach, okay? And we're gonna deploy those in those sections, in 3 200-foot sections. Okay, we're gonna put down 1 or 2 rebar stakes for anchoring on shore. What we're gonna first do is tie off that first 200 feet of boom to the shoreside stakes, and then Task Force 2 will come in and take that 200 feet of boom in tow out here with Task Force 1 at the tail end of the boom, okay, just to manage it. They will then drop an anchor, okay, to deploy that first length of boom. And then, again, Task Force 1 and 2 will come back and will pass off a line to bring out the second 200-foot leg. All right, with Task Force 2 at the lead and Task Force 1 at the trailing edge of the boom in the small Zodiac. Task Force 1 will make the connection to the first and second segments of boom, and then Task Force 2 will again drop an anchor on that second section, and they'll repeat the process for the third leg.
When it comes to infrastructure, the oil spill recovery drill is a perfect example of what is classified as soft infrastructure. 3 different fire departments from neighboring communities working in tandem with the Mass Department of Environmental Protection for one overall goal, in case the unthinkable were ever to happen.
Well, that concludes this episode of North Shore Infrastructure with the Lynn Fire Department. We've learned a lot about soft infrastructure and, more importantly, safety and preparation. The Lynn Fire Department is here for the community and to make sure that we're safe. If you guys have feedback, you can visit us at our website, www.lyncamtv.com/shows/NSI. I'm Sean Donahue from Lynn Cam TV, wishing you all the best and asking you to stay tuned. I'm here with Rich Packard with the Mass Deep. Sorry. Is there a specific term for raising the ladder?
That's pretty much it.
Raise
the ladder.
Raise the ladder. So Dave, our camera guy, has to climb this thing. That'll be fun.
I quit.
He's not a fan of heights. This is a tight squeeze, huh, Dave? Have you ever been so close to me?
Let it close again. So just get the quick wash.
Cool. Excellent. Sounds good. I get my Daisy Dukes. I won't do that. Yeah, you probably get wet as a firefighter. It's like you're gonna get wet. There's nothing you can do.